done that before, but anyway. Scano, good afternoon. I guess it's the week of delays. So as Moses says, Indian time, Indian time. Good afternoon. I think we're going to make this short and sweet because it's just the message that we're getting. I don't know, Kevin is here. We'd just like to acknowledge everyone that has come, and thank you so much, Andrea. I know we had a few other members that wanted to join, but today's when I was making the poster for this, I was like, should we wait? Should we still say hi? What should we do with this? And I think we just roll with it. So saying hi to everyone today.
I think that's what conversations are all about. Sometimes you think you need to say something and then conversations take a different turn. So I'm okay being flexible, and thank you for opening up the conversation.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so much that we could talk about today, in regards to healing from, with the earth and Mother Earth. And I think that if we can do anything, let's just maybe do that just to honor this day. There's so much that's been happening already in our Indigenous community, and it's always about balance. Like that's how I've been taught by my elders. It's about, when there's good, you have to appreciate the good, but not too much. Be mindful, be grounded, and appreciate that. And so today, mixed emotions about what this day is about. So like I said, we could have a long conversations, but I just thought it would be really great. Let's just take it to honoring Indigenous people, Mother Earth, and talk about your how you interact with Mother Earth, and if you do, how do you heal yourself through the energies that she provides.
Yeah, and it was interesting. Part of the reason we were running a bit behind schedule was until you could join the conversation, Kevin and I just thought it wasn't really appropriate for either one of us to have the conversation on National Indigenous Peoples Day, no matter what approach we take to this conversation, without having you or Grandmother Renee join us to help guide that conversation. But both Kevin and I were out working in the gardens, him a little more extensively than I was, but we're out there doing, teaching, doing our part as best we can. Yes, I am a white person, but part of what I feel my role and responsibility is to work towards reconciliation and teaching others how to be living a little bit more in balance with the earth, so how do we grow our food? That was what I was working on this morning, was doing some garden planting and working with one of our community partners and setting up our summer camp schedule and opportunities for kids to come and learn and develop that appreciation for the natural world around them, so that not only can they grow their own food, but they understand the bigger context that we're trying to do this in. So that's my take on it.
Evan, did you want to add anything? I think I don't know if you're muted or I can't hear you.
All right.
At first it just, we'll let him pop off for a second. And I think I was just going to say something, but it's really just to acknowledge that you both, felt that. And that's what relationships are about. That's where we are right now in community, is really learning, like going back to understanding and valuing our relationships with Indigenous people who really are learning their purpose and position and place in society. And so having partners, cousins, relatives like you both, So, Kevin, I was just acknowledging that you and Andrea, held off from having this conversation. I just wanted to acknowledge and appreciate that, that I appreciate that relationship, because this is on a day like today. That's what I've been fielding all morning, is like, what can we do? How can we get involved? How do we do this as non-Indigenous people, really wanting to walk with you and do this work? So I just wanted to express my gratitude for you guys, just being mindful and aware that it is really respectable, that decision that you made. So Nyawa.
Yeah, it's one of these things too for me. I've been knowledgeable of our sordid past here in Canada and aware of it, and always speaking out against somebody that says ignorant comments, I guess I could say. And for me, I live right on the edge of the reserve, and I did plant a half an acre of white corn last week, and we were transplanting another 1,000 yesterday and today. Yeah, and I mean, I'm just trying to provide an opportunity for people to come and connect with the ground, because I think all of us have that disconnect, and I know that it's much more significant in Indigenous culture. There's much more reverence, I would say, for nature and for being one with the planet in 7 generations. And yeah, I try to honor that every day and learn and be mindful. I know one thing that I just sent a link in our chat to all the powwows that are coming up this summer, and I think that would be a great way for people to get out and connect and learn, and to get a better understanding of where we are in our sense of place.
Amazing, Yawa. I shared that actually in our chat, open for everyone. So I really want to make today short, and just say how, again, grateful I am to be in relationship with the two of you. I've learned so much, and so much that I feel like I'm moving to tears, because as Indigenous people, it's like, we know that our elders share with us, not to look for the things you need, right? But to be present and aware, in in life. And so, and just in this time, knowing that all the people that that are Indigenous are celebrating themselves, their ancestors, that they're here. They're like so much. And I think that that's really what we need to do today, right? Is not ask how, like, I got to tell you, that's all I've been busy all month doing is, hey, can we get somebody to come and do a dance? Can we get somebody to come and speak? And really the work that we do with Grandmother's Voice is saying, hey, how about we bring someone who you can start a relationship with? How about we bring someone that you invite to the space and ask and give them space and not just perform? How can we start to build? And that's what Grandmother's Voice is about. And this is a collective way of thinking and being. And so I've been listening to, because for those of you who know, I don't read, not because I can't, because I don't have time. So I just drove. I'm actually in Bell River today, and I'm not going to be at the National Indigenous Peoples Day event today that we've been planning. But just driving here, I really wanted to prepare myself for this. I wasn't sure if I'd jump on, but I'm listening to Gathering Moss by Robin Well Kimmerer. And today I was just like listening to like what this whole talk is supposed to be about today, and connecting to the land and how to heal. And I just wanted to share that that the reason I created Grandmother's Voice, or started to gather the people, right, was because I was guided to. When I went to the land, and I had never had a connection to land, I never grew a garden like my parents did, the odd time, but my life was as an urban Indigenous person, not connected to anything, not connected to my culture, not even connected to who I was. And the day that time that I connected, I felt like I was in this little orb. I felt like I was in this. I wasn't even, I think what Robin says in her book is along the lines of, I wasn't, I didn't feel like I was in myself. I wasn't listening, like I wasn't hearing, right? I was just being, but knowing I was around. And that's what I felt like that time that I connected to the earth. And I heard, it was like I heard the leaves growing in those few minutes, right? And so that's what I picked up from the elders over the years, as how does grandmother, I mean, does Mother Earth serve you? And it's not just the food and and what we see. It's really when we connect and become connected to her through all of our, our senses, from emotions to body, mind, spirit. And I find, and please, no disrespect to non-Indigenous people or people that aren't connected, because there are so many people that do the work to care for Mother Earth, but they don't understand that. They don't understand that deeper connection. And I really believe that Indigenous people, it's our time. It's our time to share that knowledge, to connect the people to the earth and to each other. And that's what our purpose is. And that's what your purpose is,
Mhm.
because I'm connected and I'm learning so much from you.
And
So
I think in choosing today's topic, it was also, sometimes we're just too busy, that we have to have that ability to stop and sit and listen. And I like the title of the book, Gathering Moss. The only way that happens is to sit quietly for a long period of time. And that's when you really start to notice the smaller insects, the rustling leaves, all of those things that if you're just a whirlwind of activity yourself, you don't notice about nature. And we allow ourselves to fall out of balance with the world around us. And when you're not in balance, that's when we start taking more than we should. And we start not replenishing the soil and not nurturing the pollinators around us. And yeah, so that's part of my goal from my worldview is not the same as an Indigenous worldview, but it is so aligned in so many ways that I think, maybe I just need to have different words to express it at times.
yeah, amazing. Thank you for that. It's so true. It's all about living in harmony, and that's what Mother Earth shows us, right? So we're going to cut this short, but Kevin, I'd love to hear from you because I think you're so cool. And maybe you can do a harmonica for us today after you share whatever else you want to share. Can you?
Yeah, sure. I'd love to. I have often, when I've had workers in my fields and that, when they get stressed out or anxious, nature therapy, but I have sent them into the forest and said, hey, go spend the next 45 minutes in the forest. Don't say a word, just listen and just observe. And the birds come around you, and you might see a opossum walk by or all that kind of stuff. And more often than not, afterwards they thank me, because it does really help. And I think that is taking off your shoes, laying on the earth and feeling your heart connected to it. These are really beautiful things, like hugging a tree. Sounds like hippy dippy stuff to a lot of people, but it's like, it's so real, and it's so we should all try to be that present. And and I
Thank
shameless
you.
promotion. The Three Fires powwow on August 21st. I'm playing with our band, and there's 3 Indigenous fellas that are in the band, and I'm really looking
Sweet.
forward.
This might take us away with something.
So I don't know. I'll just sing like one
Celebrating us.
of a song that came out of the fields in the 1920s, 30s. Anyways, something like this. You know the boss man was so mean. I worked just like a slave. 15 long hours drive anybody to their grave. So keep on walking. Walking my blues away. You know the sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. Yeah, I used to own a car, people. Yes, it was painted white and black. Inflation, I can't make my payments. The man, he come and he took it back. So I'll keep on walking. Walking my blues away. The sun's gonna shine in my back door someday.
Woo! Amazing. Thanks, brother.
No worries.
That's awesome. We'll make our way to that powwow. And those of you watching and anyone that watches later, make your way over to Country Heritage Park. They have a great evening prepared and lots of fun, just chilling, celebrating each other. And Nyawa for this space, and thanks for showing up and continuing to support the work that we do in the community that we have. See you, Kev.
Thank you, Jody.
You good, Andrea? Do you have something you want to share? Sorry, before I go, did you want something? No? I know there's so much to share right now. I just there's always so much going on in the community. So, reach out to Halton Environmental Network and Kevin at McQuestion Urban Farm, and Grandmother's Voice.
I just had one.
We'll see.
Another ad. Nawasa, the organization that I work for, is going to be at June 25th and 26th at Soaring Spirit Powwow. That's at Stony Creek Battlefield. Yeah, that's coming. Cool. And you can with Nawasa and other great groups too.
Sweet. Thank you for sharing that.
Look forward to our talk next week.
Ona.
Have a good week, everybody.